What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and today I'm bringing to you my Tearlament zombie deck profile. I was looking up for a way to play the new Call of the Haunted stuff, and I really wanted to make it more unique to what more than most players are doing by just incorporating just generic zombie pile. This deck does offer a lot more fun and capability to the deck to give it a little bit more interaction. I like it because you're able to send cards, you're able to mill cards, you're basically able to fill your graveyard with the necessary cards. Sorry. But anyways, basically from there, you're able to set up the Call of Haunted loop, you're able to set up the Tearlament cards, you're able to set up a lot of interaction through Minerva, Mud Dragon of the Swamp. You can even do Eldritch combo with this deck as well. There is so much with this deck that is incorporated into it that works so well. It feels very fluid and is very fun to play overall. And it's one of the few decks I would recommend newer players to try out, as there's not a lot of combo or really interactions that you got to really worry about outside of some of the Tearlament cards, which is perfectly fine. This teaches them about chain links and how to really interact. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into the deck profile and I'll explain a little bit more. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop right into the monsters. First up, we're playing 3 Pump King, the King of Grave Ghosts. You can reveal this card in your hand, set one Call of the Haunted from your deck or graveyard, and if you do, discard one card. That set card can be activated this turn. If this card is special summon, you can special summon one level 6 zombie monster from your deck, except 1950 attack. Or except with 1950 attack. Also, you cannot special summon from your hand or graveyard for the rest of this turn, except zombie monsters. You can only use each effect of Pump King, the King of Grave Ghosts, once per turn. Basically, it's a great way to get bodies on the board to go into our rank 6s pretty easy. And off to the start to be able to get Call of Haunted interactions and being able to search other cards. One of those other cards is Stare of the Snake Hair. You can discard this card, add one Call of the Haunted, or one spell trap that mentions it from your deck to your hand. If this card is special summon, you can target one attack position monster your opponent controls. That face-up monster cannot attack. Its effects are negated. Also, it cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, exceed, or link summon. You can only use each effect of Stare of the Snake Hair once per turn. So, outside of being an innate search for a Call of the Haunted card or spell and trap that mentions it, you can basically use it for a monster negation. The next bunch of zombie cards are all one-ofs, starting off with Great Mammoth of the Netherworld. If this card is special summon, you control Call of the Haunted or a zombie monster except Great Mammoth of the Netherworld. You can target one card on the field and destroy it. You can only use this effect of Great Mammoth of the Netherworld once per turn. A zombie Exceeds monster that has this card as material gains the effect. It gains 1,000 attack, so it can make your zombies a bit beefier and harder to out. Up next, we're playing 1 Army of the Haunted. If you control a Call of the Haunted and this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Call of the Haunted in your graveyard and set it. You can only use each effect of Army of the Haunted once per turn. So being able to give that recursion to Call of the Haunted and being able to summon it as an additional level 600 or a level 6 body can really help you out greatly. Next, of course, we're playing the 1 Glow Up Bloom Zombie level 1 tuner. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard, add 1 level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand, or if a zombie world is in a field zone, you can special summon it from your deck instead. Also, in either case, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. You can only use this effect of Glow Up Bloom once per turn. Up next, I'm playing Volcarion, the Rotting Phoenix, a level 4 tuner zombie effect monster. If you control a zombie monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you return this card from the field to the hand. Then you can special summon one zombie monster from your hand. You can only use each effect of Volcarion, the Rotting Phoenix, once per turn. It's a really good extender, and it helps you go into Minerva and a couple other sinker plays that lets you mill cards to the graveyard. Then for the bigger zombies, we're playing 1 Doom King Balrog. During the standby phase, if a face-up card is in the field zone and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense position. You can only use this effect of Doom King Balrog once per turn. Once per chain when a zombie monster except Doom King Balrog activates its effect, except during damage step, Quick effect, you can apply one of these effects. You cannot apply the same effect of Doom King Balderrock again this turn. Negate that effect, or banish one monster from field or graveyard. This can come up greatly because this can help you banish cards that you don't want to deal with. Now, the other thing is it lets you negate an effect as well. Next up, we have Eldritch, the Golden Lord. You can send this card and one spell and trap from your hand to the graveyard, then target one card in the field, send it to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one spell and trap you control to the graveyard, add this card to your hand, then you can special summon one zombie monster from your hand, and if you do until the end of your opponent's turn, it gains 1000 attack and defense, cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each effect of Eldritch Golden Lord once per turn. This is a great card overall because it lets you basically get your extra Call of the Haunted into the graveyard so you can reset them through other effects. Now, as for the Tearlament package, we're playing 3 Tearlament Rhino Heart. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send one Tearlament's monster from your deck to the graveyard except Tearlament's Rhino Heart. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. And if you do, send one Tearlament's card from your hand to the graveyard. You can only use each effect of Tearlament's Rhino Heart once per turn. So being able to Foolish Tearlament to get fusions running can help out greatly. Up next, we're playing 2 Tearlament's Kashtira. During the main phase quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, banish one Kashtira or Tearlament's card from your hand or graveyard. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send the top 3 cards of either player's deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect of Tearlament's Kashtira once per turn, being able to get you extra buys into the graveyard through milling your own deck. Speaking of milling your own deck, we have Tearlament's Sheeran. During your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, then send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, except during damage step, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by placing fusion materials mentioned on it from hand, field, and or graveyard, including this card from your graveyard on the bottom of the deck in any order. You can only use each effect of Tearlament's Sheeran once per turn. Of course, we're playing the 1 Tearlament's Merrily. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, except during the damage step, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by placing fusion materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard, including this card from your graveyard on the bottom of the deck in any order. You can only use each effect of Tearlament's Merrily once per turn. And then finally, we're playing 1 Tearlament's Havness. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, except during damage step, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by placing fusion materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard, including this card from your graveyard on the bottom of the deck in any order. You can only use each effect of Tearlament's Havness once per turn. Then, for our 1 monster hand trap, we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. When a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, quick effect, you can discard this card to negate that effect. Add a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, send a card from the deck to the graveyard. You can only use each this effect of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring once per turn. So, basically being able to get you pretty set up with a good setup of a graveyard. Sorry, that made no sense what I just said. Basically, able to fill your graveyard with good monsters to be able to really interact with your opponent, but also turning those hand traps, since they are a zombie, into actual materials for other plays, whether it be Synchro, Xyz, Fusion, whatever. That's all that I got for today's monsters. Let's go ahead and hop right in to our spells and traps. All right. For our spells and traps, of course, we're playing 3 Ectoplasmic Fortification. You can cut this down to 1 if you really want to. I like seeing this card as much as possible, so you can activate one of these effects. If you control no monsters, add 1 level 6 zombie monster or 1 Call of the Forgotten from your deck to your hand. Zombie monsters you control gain 400 attack, then you draw cards equal to the number of Call Haunted you control. You can only activate 1 Ectoplasmic Fortification per turn. So basically turning it into potentially a draw 3 or being able to add a level 6 monster such as Pumpkin can really help you out in the long haul. Up next, of course, we're playing 3 Primeval Planet Perlino. When this card is activated, you can add one Tearlament's monster or one Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand. Fusion monsters and Tearlament monsters you control gain 500 attack if a Tearlament's monster you control or in your graveyard is shuffled into the deck or extra deck except during damage step. You can target one card on the field, destroy it. You can only use this effect of Primeval Planet Paralino once per turn. You can only activate one Primeval Planet Paralino once per turn. So being able to basically search for your Tearlament's Rhino Heart or any necessary Tearlament, but also getting that interactable pop can help out with board breaking capabilities. Up next, we have 3 Forbidden Droplet. Send any number of other cards from your hand and or field to the graveyard. Choose that many effect monsters your opponent controls, and until the end of this turn, their attack is halved. Also, their effects are negated in response to this card's activation. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects with the same original type, monster, spell, or trap, as the cards sent to the graveyard to activate this card. You can only activate one Forbidden Droplet per turn. So basically giving you access to turn off Natria Beast or any kind of interaction can help out greatly. Next, of course, we're playing 2 Tearlament Scream. If a monster or monsters is a special summon or normal summon, and you control a Tearlament's monster or Visa Starfrost, except during the damage step, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Also, for the rest of this turn, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add one Tearlament's Trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Tearlament Scream once per turn. So basically additional milling, but also helps with getting the attack drop of your opponent's monsters. Now for the bunch of one-ofs, we're playing 1 Call of the Forgotten. When this card is activated, you can set up to 3 Call of the Haunted from your deck and or graveyard, and if you do until the end of your opponent's turn, you cannot special summon except zombie monsters or monsters from the graveyard. Once per turn, if you activate Call of the Haunted, you can target one monster your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 Call of the Forgotten per turn. So being able to basically take any of the Call of the Haunteds that you milled off of Tearlaments and reset them can help out greatly as well. Next, of course, we're playing the 1 Vortex of Time. When your opponent activates a normal or quick play spell, card, or effect, or a monster effect while you control a zombie monster and Call the Haunted, except during the damage step, your opponent tosses a coin and their activated effect becomes the following effect. Heads, your opponent must banish one monster they control. Tails, you must banish all monsters you control. You can only activate 1 Vortex of Time per turn. So, this can help out greatly because it gives you access to really just changing an effect that you really don't want going through. And it can also make it to where they have to banish all their monsters they control. Next, of course, we're playing 1 Triple Tactics Talent and 1 Call by the Grave. Why am I playing these cards? Well, Triple Tactics Talent functions pretty well if we get Ash Blossomed or really interacted with to where we could do one of the 3 things. If your opponent has activated a monster effect during your main phase this turn, activate one of these effects. Draw 2 cards, take control of one monster your opponent controls until the end phase, look at your opponent's hand and choose 1 card from it to shuffle into the deck. You can only activate 1 Triple Tactics Talent per turn. So being able to basically make it to where you get to shuffle a card back in, draw 2, or steal a monster can help out greatly. The other one is Called by the Grave. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. Basically giving you a bit more protection from Ash Blossom and other things that hit the graveyard, such as Ghost Bell. Next, of course, we're going into the traps, in which I am playing 3 Call the Haunted. Most decks with this package are usually playing 2, but I'm playing 3 because I wanted to stick to the main theme. Activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in attack position. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. So, great way to get into your Pump King combos. But also, we're playing 2 Tearlament's Solyak. If you control a Tearlament's monster or a Visa Starfrost, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects, then send one monster you control to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add 1 Tearlament's monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Tearlament's Solyak once per turn. So basically turning it into a effect negation can help out greatly, but also when it's milled, gets you a Tearlament's monster. That helps out as well. Anyways, that's all that I got for the main deck. Let's go ahead and hop right into our extra deck. Alright, for our extra deck, of course, you guys have already seen part of it, but we're starting off with Mud Dragon of the Swamp. 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. Your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card with card effects. Once per turn, quick effect, you can declare one attribute. This card becomes that attribute until the end of this turn. This is going to help us get into our level 4 plays, but also offers us our rank 4 plays, but offers us another form of protection. Next up, we're playing one Predaplant Dragostapelia. One fusion monster plus one dark monster. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, place one predator counter on it, and if it is level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1 as long as it has a predator counter. Negate the activated effects of your opponent's monsters that have predator counters. So, additional protection through effect negation and level modulation. Next, we're playing one Fallen Angel of the Golden Land, one Eldritch monster plus one Eldritch the Golden Lord, and one zombie monster. Must be either fusion summon or special summon from your extra deck by attributing one light zombie monster. While you have Eldritch the Golden Lord in your field or graveyard, you can only special summon Fallen Angel of the Golden Land once per turn this way. No matter which method you use, if this card is sent from field to the graveyard, you can special summon Eldritch monster from your deck, extra deck, or graveyard. You can only use this effect of Fallen Angel of Golden Land once per turn. This card is going to help us get into our Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord, which is one Eldritch monster plus one level 5 or higher zombie monster. We don't usually fusion directly into this because we're using the Fallen Angel to cheat it out. This card's name becomes Eldritch the Golden Lord while on the field. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You contribute one zombie monster to then target one face-up monster opponent controls. Take control of it but cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. You can only use this effect of Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord once per turn. Then, for our last fusion monster, we're playing one Tearlament's Kaleido Heart. Tearlament's Rhino Heart plus 2 Aqua monsters. Cannot be used as fusion material if this card is special summon or an Aqua monster is sent to the graveyard by card effect while this card is on the field. You can target one card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon this card, and if you do, send one Tearlament's card from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect of Tearlament's Kaleido Heart once per turn. So giving extra capability to get rid of cards on your opponent's side of the field and also be able to return it for a 3,000 attacker. Now for the Xyz monsters, we're playing one Minerva the Exalted Lightsworn. We're playing a bunch of level 4s, so it made sense. You can attach one material from this card, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, then draw cards equal to the number of Lightsworn cards sent to the graveyard by this effect. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, then you can destroy cards on the field up to the number of Lightsworn cards sent to the graveyard by this effect. You can only use each effect of Minerva the Exalted Lightsworn once per turn. So basically we're using it to mill in our zombies and Tearlaments to trigger effects in the graveyard. Next, of course, we're playing one Wallow, Founder of the Drudge Dragons. 2+ level 6 monsters. Monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard. Quick effect. You can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and attach 1 or 2 materials from this card, then activate the appropriate effect. Return to the deck. If the target is a monster, special summon it face up or face down defense position to your field. If it is not, set it to your field. You can only use this effect of Wallow, Founder of Drudge Dragons, once per turn. Then, of course, we're playing 2 Pumpkin the Great Ghost King. 2 level 6 zombie monsters. While you control a Call of the Haunted, or your opponent cannot target zombie monsters you control with monster effects. You can only use each of the following effects of Pumpkin the Great Ghost King once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Call of the Haunted or 1 card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 2 cards on the field, return them to the hand. So basically allowing you to return the Call of the Haunted to reset it, but also giving you access to return multiple cards, not just on your side, but your opponent's side. Also being able to give you a search for a card that mentions Call the Haunted from your deck to your hand, which can help further your plays. And then for the final Xyz, we're playing 1 Undying Legion. 2 level 7 monsters. Once per turn, you can also Xyz the Undying Legion by using 1 rank 6 zombie Xyz monster you control, transfer its materials to this card. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, or just 1 material if all of this card's materials are Xyz monsters. Then target 1 attack position monster your opponent controls, or 1 monster in their graveyard, and attach it to this card. You can only use this effect of Undying Legion once per turn. So being able to basically mess with your opponent's graveyard or steal a monster can help greatly. As for the links, we're playing a handful of Link 2s. Speaking of which, we're going to start off with IP Masquerena. 2 non-link monsters during your opponent's main phase. You can, quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, link summon 1 link monster using materials you control, including this card. You can only use this effect of IP Masquerena once per turn. A link monster that used this card's material cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Which allows us to go into our 1 SP Little Knight. If this card is link summoned using a fusion, synchro, seize, or link monster as material, you can target 1 card on the field or in either graveyard, banish it. Also, your monsters cannot attack directly this turn. When your opponent activates a card or quick effect, you can target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including a monster you control. Banish both until the end phase. You can only use each effect of SP Little Knight once per turn, giving you more access to really do some board breaking capabilities, but also interact with your opponent by protecting some of your stuff if you need to. Next, of course, we're playing the Dark Charmer Gloomy. 2 monsters, including a dark monster. You can target 1 dark monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your zone this card points to. If this link summon card is destroyed by battle or destroyed by an opponent's card effect while it's in its owner's monster zone, you can add 1 dark monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of the Dark Charmer Gloomy once per turn. Next, we're playing the 1 Vampire Sucker. 2 zombie monsters. If you attribute a monster or monsters for a tribute summon, you contribute a zombie monster your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. You can only use each of the following effects of Vampire Sucker once per turn. You can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your opponent's field in defense position, but it becomes a zombie monster. If a zombie monster or monsters is special summoned from either graveyard, draw 1 card. Then finally, we have the Flying Mary, the Wandering Ghost Ship. 2 zombie monsters. You can target 1 of your level 5 or higher zombie monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Place this card in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous spell, and if you do, special summon that monster. While this card is a continuous spell, you can target 1 level 5 or higher zombie monster you control, destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, with attack less than or equal to that monster. You can only use each effect of Flying Mary, the Wandering Ghost Ship, once per turn. So being able to revive the Eldritch or any other card that you really need that's level 5 or higher can help you seal out the game pretty fast. Also giving you an interactable pop as well helps out greatly. Anyways, guys, that's all that I have for you today. If you liked today's video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.